Mm.
And here are the answers if you mark your work. And on substitution, we want to make it exam specific. So let's give you an exam question with substitution. Let's look at paper 3, June 2022. Here we are. This is worth 2 marks. Off you go. And DM me your answers. Paper 3 should be quite straightforward. Very nice. And your answer should be 25. Well done to those people who've replied back to me. Excuse me. All right, so let's look at iteration. All right, so today we're looking at iteration. Let's see how we do this. Let me kind of explain some things here, and then it will kind of make sense with some examples. Okay, so if I kind of start with the concept, let's say we have certain numbers. Let's say we have a sequence of 4, 7, 10, 13. What you can see with this pattern is I am always adding 3. I am always adding 3. I'm always adding 3. So what I say is to get 7, you're doing 4 plus 3. Okay, so to get the current number, you have to take the previous number, add 3. How do I get 10? 10 is 7 plus the previous number. So the previous number is 3 and then add 3. So I'm always kind of getting my answer and I'm replacing it with the number and I'm substituting it in. And this kind of keeps happening in a loop. All right, so let's look at a specific example. L1 on the screen. So here my first number, L1, is equal to 5. And here my sequence is saying Ln equals to 4 Ln minus 1, take away 5. So what I'm doing is I'm multiplying by the previous number. So to get L2, I'm going to multiply 4 by L1, take away 5. So L2 becomes 4 times L1 is 5, take away 5. 4 times 5 is 20, take away 5 is 15. Now, when I want to get L3, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a similar thing. L3 is going to be 4 times L2, take away 5. So 4 times L2 is 15. 4 times 15, take away 5. 4 times 15 is 15, 30, 60, take away 5 is 55. And that's how I get my answer. Okay, so that's an example. If you can all do, let's see, I'll give specific numbers and then you can give me your answers. Excuse me. So if I can ask, Adian, if you do bronze 2, Ayub, bronze 3, Isa, bronze 4, Farial, bronze 5, please. If you've not been given a number, you can just do any number and you can carry on like that. Off you go. And the time is 09. So I'll just give you a minute to do that. Oops. Did something just happen? I hope not. Okay, for those who have just joined us, it is iteration. All right, some people are messaging me that they've never done this before. So I'll go through it again. Any person who I've named, if you're happy to come to the mic, please do so. Okay, so what we're doing is we are substituting. So here I've got bronze 2. Okay, so lots of messages coming through. So here I have got L1 equals to 3. Okay, and so what that means is it's asking me to find L3. So Ln plus 1 equals 1 Ln plus 3. So what that means is to work out L2, I need to do 1 times L1 plus 3. So now L2 is going to be 1 times, what's my L1? L1 is 3. So I'm going to do 1 times 3 plus 1, plus 3, sorry. And that gives me L2 equals to 1 times 3 is 3, plus 3 is 6. Okay, now I'm going to work out L3. L3 is going to be 1 times L2 plus 3. So 1 times, what's my L2? This time L2 is 6 plus 3. L3 equals to 1 times 6 is 6 plus 3 gives me 9. Okay. So that's how I do it. Just looking at chat. Anyone else? If you can have your name so I know who you are. All right. Some people are giving me their answers. Let's check. 73. Well done, Rihanna. 78 rather. All right. So if you've done your questions, those are the correct answers. Okay. All right. So let's have a look at another few questions. Let's do one more. All right. Let me do another one. All right. So mark your work, please. Let's do another one. All right. So here we have another set of questions. Okay. So we have this time our iteration is Cn plus 1 equals 6 bracket Cn take away 5. All right, so what is my C1? C1, I am told, is 5. So to work out C2, it's going to be 6. And then in brackets, C1 take away 5. All right, and now what is my C1? C1 is 5. So I'm going to do 5 take away 5. That gives me 0. 6 times 0 is just 0. So C2 is now 0. Now I go to C3. C3, if I look at this, C3 is going to be bracket 6 bracket C2 take away 5. What's my C2? My C2 is 0. So then I'm going to do C3 equals 6 bracket C2 is 0, take away 5. 0 take away 5 is minus 5. Minus 5 times 6 is minus 30. Okay. All right, so that's how we do that. Nothing in comments. All right, so let's go through looking at some questions. So I'm going to give some more numbers and names to people. All right, so let's me have another go. All right, Ayub, if you are ready to do bronze 2 this time. Adian, if you can do bronze 3. Isa, if you do bronze 4, please. And Fatima, if you can do bronze 5, please. I'll also double up as well, give more people some names. Farial, you can do bronze 2. Hajera, bronze 3. Kaisa, bronze 4. Khadija, bronze 5. And if you've not been given a number, then you can just do a question there. All right, the clock is 16. Okay, can we make sure we are DMing me and not messaging in the to everybody? All right, especially as if we are giving away answers. We don't want to spoil it for everybody. Right. What I am getting a sense is people are either DMing me or messaging me privately about this. I'm going to show all the answers and I'm going to kind of show you, hopefully, that you know how to do this. Okay. It's just presenting something differently. All right. So that's the thing I want you to kind of understand. If you understand it, then everything else will fall into place. I hope. That's my hope. All right. Because at the moment, you're all freaking out with the kind of, oh, iteration, what does it mean, and all of that kind of thing. Um, and some of you are getting it right. I hope you're getting it right. Some people are getting confident. That's good to hear. All right, let me change the subject altogether. So we started the lesson with substitution, okay? Some people are joining us late. Some people are, we're here on time. So the core skill for this lesson is substitution. All right, so if you can substitute, that means you know how to do this topic. That is it. It's as simple as that. In terms of you know how to do the maths. The understanding is separate. So here we've got n equals 7. We're doing 4 times 7, take away 4. That tells us 4 times 7, 7, 14, 21, 28, take away 4, gives us 24. All right. So I think everybody can do that. All right. I hope everybody can do that, because if you can't do that, you're in the wrong class. You should be doing the Sunday class. But this is the core skill of substitution. In fact, I think I shared a video of this lesson right at the beginning of the year. So if you are new and you are struggling with this, look at that video, get your parents to share that video with you. So that's the first thing, substitution. The next skill is, it's the same thing actually, but you're just going to be repeating it. In fact, let me carry on with that thing. So let me keep this. All right, because that is important, because you're going to see why and how in a second. All right, so we have got n equals to 7. Let's call this, for the sequence, n equals to 1. No, not n equals to 1. That's going to confuse you. All right, now what we're doing is, the answer that we've got is 24. My new number is 24. All right, we still have our formula 4n take away 4. By the way, you should be using a calculator. You're allowed to use a calculator in this topic. What we're now doing is 4 times 24 take away 4. That's what we're doing now. So the answer now goes back into the equation or the expression. So when we put that in our calculator, 4 times 24 is 96. Take away 4 gives us 92. All right, so that's my answer. Now, guess what? That now goes into my equation, n equals to 92. So it again becomes, my equation is still the same, 4n take away 4. So now I'm going to do 4 times 92 take away 4. And that gives me 4 times 92 is 368 take away 4. And I'm using a calculator. You can't see, but I am using a calculator. All right, that is it. Okay. Now, how we write this is where it kind of can get confusing, if you like. Let me call each of these, give these a name. All right. So if you like, this was term 1. All right, let's call this term 1. This is term 2. This is term 3. Okay. Now, if you look at the working out, we kind of have to go backwards. Term 3 was, when I put my number in here, it was 92, 4 times 92. So term 3 was 4 times what term 2 was, take away 4. All right, and that is what iteration is. It's whatever the previous number is, times it, putting it into my equation. All right, if you look at term 2 is going to be 4 times what term 1 is, take away 4. That's what I've just done. 24 is here, and I put 24 into my equation. So I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense? And so that's the key concept. That is the key concept. Anybody saying anything? Yes, it makes sense. Okay, at least someone is saying anything. Anybody want to come to the mic? So as I'm explaining it, you can kind of say, give me some feedback, because at the moment I'm talking into a laptop. All right, any hands up to come to the screen? All right, so we've done some questions, and now we're going to go into the silver ones now, okay? We are going to go into the silver questions. If you are not confident, then you carry on with the bronze questions, but we're kind of gonna continue with what we've just been doing, and we're gonna do the silver questions now. So silver questions is exactly the same as bronze. The difference is we now have a wording difference. Okay, so our wording has now changed. All right, it has. Can anyone willing to come to the mic? Any hands up? Okay, so if I read silver one, it says the annual squirrel population can be modeled using the iterative formula Pn plus 1 equals to 1.2 times Pn plus 500. The population in 2011 was 1360. Find the population in 2013. All right, so the key here is I've got a starting number. 2011 was 1361. So I can use that information now to work out the next year, which is 2012. And then my answer, I will use that to work out 2013. All right. Okay, so yes, that's correct, Farial. All right, so now I'm gonna work this out. So I'm gonna have my P for 2012 is going to be 1.2 times the population of 2011 plus 500. And so now that becomes 1.2 times, what's the population in 2011? It's 1360 plus 500. Put that in a calculator. 1360 plus 500 is 1860. Times that by 1.2. And you get 2232. Okay, so that's my population in 2012. Now, I go to the next one. 2013 is going to be 1.2, the population of 2012, plus 500. So my answer that I just got, I'll circle it here, 2232, now goes into my next equation. 1.2, 2232 plus 500. And now just put this all in a calculator. So 2232 plus 500 is 2732 times by 1.2 gives me 3278.4. And then you can see this is rounded down to 3278 to the nearest whole number. All right, so that is how we do this question. I'm going to give each of you a number, then we will look at exam paper questions. Yeah, I did write it wrong. I don't know what happened there. I'm a little bit dyslexic, as you can see. Yeah. All right. So now I'm gonna give everybody a number. Actually, I'm not gonna give you a number because I would like you to do a question that you feel comfortable in. So I want you to direct message me your answers. I want you to, if you are doing bronze one, send me your answer with bronze one, and so on. If you're doing silver, if you were here from the beginning, I would like you to try and do what's the word? If you've been here from the beginning, do the silver questions and so on. The clock is now 29. All right, I'm gonna message everybody. All right, again, can we keep the chat sensible? No comments, silly comments, please, everybody. All right, the clock is 29. Let's go. Okay, answers are slowly coming. Have a look at your question that you've answered and see whether you've got it right or not. And I'm going to remove the answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, continue answering questions, please. Iteration does come up on non-calculator questions. Okay. All right, here are the answers. If you can tell me whether you've got it right or not as well in your DM to me, that will be good. All right, thank you, Adian. All right. Are we ready for exam questions, or do we want to practice a little bit more? Also, are there topics that you would like to do? I think iteration came. Why did I choose iteration? Iteration comes up a lot. I am gonna send you all a document now. Um, and then if you can write down in the chat with everybody what topic you would like. Don't repeat it, just like the comment, then it gives me an idea. So third seems like it's quite popular, maybe. So we'll see. All right. Yusuf, can you reply to my messages? Yusuf Nahian. All right. And I need to get a response from you. Okay, let's go to some exam questions. Okay, so let's start off with a nice, I wouldn't call it easy. I thought it was easy. Then I realized, hold on a second, did I make a mistake? It's not easy. All right, the first question. So we did a substitution. You can see the skill being used. Um, paper 3, November 2018. This is worth how many marks? This is worth 2 marks. Off you go, everybody. I'm getting some answers. I just am wanting to do something, and that's taken me a while. All right, so in chat, I am sending you a document which is all of the questions on iteration that I have found. All right, it includes this first question, and I've tried to do it so that they start off easy and they get harder. All right, and you can see from the questions what they look like. But let's do this. Where are we? Where are we? Here we are. Okay, here we go. So there we are. All right, so the number of animals in a population at the start of the year is PT. The number of animals at the start of year 1 is 400. Given that we have this, work out the number of animals at the start of year 3. So year 1 equals 400. Year 2 is going to be this formula, 1.01 times the year before, so 400. Put that into your calculator, and you get 1.01 times 400, get 404. Year 3 is going to be 1.01 times by 404. 408.04. And so here we have to round down. You can't have more than 408 animals. That's it. And I'm gonna check if there is anything else. That's it. I think everybody got that right. Yeah, I will post the group on. I will post the group. Post this document in the maths group. Where are we at? The next question you're going to be doing is from paper 3, June 2017. It's worth 3 marks, so let me put that on the screen. No, this is one of the easier questions. It gets harder, whoever that asked that question. Farial, this is the first in the pack, so it only gets harder from here. But as you do the questions, hopefully by the end of the pack, you'll feel confident. That's the idea of going through the pack. You're going through the same topic over and over again. At the beginning, it's easy, but by the end, it gets kind of, you get the idea. Isa, what's your question? I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Do you know I can use the whiteboard? You can use the whiteboard. I'm not sure what you mean exactly. Okay, so I'm going to show you two things now. I'm going to show you the quick way of doing this. If you know how to use your calculator. So here, let's go through this. It says using xn plus 1 equals to this with x equals to 0, which is minus 2.5. Find the values of this. So what that means is x1 is going to be minus 2 take away 4 all over x0 squared. So if we do that, that's minus 2 take away 4 all over 0 is minus 2.5 squared. Put that in your calculator. Minus 2 take away 4 over bracket minus 2.5 bracket squared. That gives you minus 66 over 25 or minus 2.64. Okay, now let's go to the next one, x2. x2 is going to be minus 2 take away 4 over all over x1 squared. Minus 2.64 all squared. So take away 2, take away 4 over bracket minus 2.64 all squared. That gives us minus 2.5739 and so on. And we have to keep the digits, I'm afraid. There's no shortcuts in this. All right. And so don't cancel anything on your calculator. Keep it like that. And now we can work out x3. x3 equals minus 2 take away 4 all over x2 squared. So what I'm going to do is going to do minus 2, minus 2 take away 4 all over the answer button, the answer squared. That gives me minus 2.603767. And you have to write all the digits out. Okay, you can see it's very, very long. All right, now, how do you do this in a faster way? All right, so it's given us x0. So you put minus 2.5 into your calculator. You press enter. Now what you do is you rewrite the equation. So you've got minus 2 take away 4 over the number that you have, answer button squared. And this is the magic of this method. All you now have to do is press the calculator once. So when I press equals, look at what happens. That's my answer. That's x1. Look at what happens now. I'm going to press equals again. That's my x2, which is that. And now I'm going to press it again for the third time. That's my button again. All right, so this is the thing. If you know how to use your calculator, it saves you a lot of time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing both methods as we go along. All right, let's look at the next exam question. All right, so so someone was asking, look at what do they look like? This is what the questions look like. There's, I think I looked at 13 exam papers and I found, 12 exam papers and I found 13 questions on this topic. So this is actually a must topic that you have to revise. We're going to run out of time in today's lesson, but inshallah, in the future, I plan to do a YouTube video on it as a masterclass, just like I did speed, distance, time, and so on. So you can learn on it. So here is the next question. So this is from paper 2, 2021. And again, it's worth 3 marks. So off you go. I'm going to look at chat. People are messaging me. I'm here, guys. I can see everything. Not sure what's going on. All right, can you hear me or not? My audio has gone very low. Okay. Can you hear me now? All right, I think what happens is when I shift from the laptop to the camera, The mic changes. All right, I'm gonna be conscious of that. Okay, that's fine. Also, another thing to note, we only have, I think we're going to have 2 sessions in February. Um, we will have 2 sessions in February, and in Ramadan, we will do master classes. We won't do normal maths lessons. The Ramadan days are not decided yet, so we will kind of probably do a poll, and your parents will decide what day to do or whatever is good for you. So we'll do 2 Friday sessions, and then from the third one onwards, we are not going to be doing anything else, unfortunately. All right, so just had to do some admin things there, just make a note of attendance and all of that kind of thing. So with this one, let's go to the camera now. So I'll be conscious, I'll speak up on the mic. All right, so we have used the iteration formula to find the values of this. X0 equals to 2. So x1 is going to be the cube root of 10 take away 2 times x2. So that means x1 is going to be 10 take away 2 times x0 here. X0 is 2. I put this into my calculator. Cube root 10 take away 2 times 2 gives me 1.817120.593. Next one now. X2 is going to be 10 minus 2 times x1. 10 take away 2 times 1.817120.5. So I'm going to do cube root 10 take away 2 times my answer. X2 equals to 1.8533184. And then x3 is going to be 10 take away 2 times x2, 10 take away 2 times 1.85331 carries on. So cube root again, 10 take away 2 times the answer gives me 1.846265. All right, so those are my numbers, and then you can just write them out. Now you can see it took a long time to do that. Let's see if we just knew how to use our button. So we put 2, enter, then we do cube root, 10 take away 2 times answer. That's your x1, x2, x3. Easy as that and quick as that. Okay, hopefully you can hear me better on this laptop mic. So what I'm going to do is for this question, we're going to ignore A, we're going to ignore B, and we're going to come to part C, which is relevant. And you can see it's worth 3 marks. And what I'm going to do for this question is I'm going to use the answer button. Excuse me. So using the answer button, you'll see how quickly we can do this. So I hope that's all right. Well done, Mohsina. All right. Isa, Khadija, you guys need to stop the chat. You're spamming the chat. All right. I want to see what people are saying, not read silly messages. All right, I know it's you want to have a chat, but this is not the time and the place. We've got very limited time. It's getting very tiring telling you the same thing over and over again. All right, let's look at this question. Just reading messages from people. Yep, I've said it a few times. The document will be shared in the chat, so it should be okay. All right, so let's look at this now. Anything else coming through? So people are using probably a manual method, which is fine, but you can see how quick the calculator method will be. Do you want to practice more of this in next session? Do let me know. All right, so here, using the kind of calculator, so we've got is x0 equals to 1. So we're gonna have 5 over the answer button squared plus 7. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put x1 as x0 is 1. You can see I've pressed 0. Now I'm going to do 5 over the answer button squared plus 7. And you can see it matches. So I press it once. X1 is going to be 0.625. X2 is going to be, if I press it again, 0.67653279. And it says 3 times x3. I press it for a third time, and it changes to 0.6704. And that's it. All right. So thank you everybody for joining. I hope you found today's session useful. I'm just gonna check chat if there's any other comments. Do you want to carry on with this next week? Carry on with some more exam questions? Let me see. What was our topics that were popular? So people do want to. Sorry, so we'll stop. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so we'll carry on with this then next week, inshallah. What were the other topics people were popular topics? See, this is where the spamming of the chat makes it difficult. I've got to scroll all the way up to find those comments. So I hope you realize, guys, how unnecessarily difficult this has to be. I'm still scrolling through the messages, right? 3D Pythagoras, 1 volt. Loads of, that's too much, Isa. You can't put FDP ratio. It needs to be more specific. Vector, surprisingly, not many people. Surds has the most votes, so it looks like Surds is popular. Right. All right. Don't repeat the same topics again. Repeat this. All right. Only grade 9 topics. All right. All right. So people are messaging. Continue with this next session. Can you make sure your parents are paying their fees on time? I hear some comments. Some people are saying new topic. Maybe we'll do a new topic. I'll see. So will we lose marks for just giving the answers? Because if you use your calculator, you most likely won't need to do your working out. No. So as long as you clearly show you're working out, like I just showed you, you should be okay. Yep, surds and surface area of 3D prisms. All right, people are feeling confident now. Okay, that's good to hear. All right. All right. Everybody, thank you. Get your parents to message me if there's any topics they would like, and then I will examine it and see what happens. So will you be sending the exam question for this in the group? Yes, I would. All right. Take care, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's session, and I'll see you at the next one. Assalamu alaikum.